What is up, sprouts and droughts? California. In this video, I'll be telling you guys every single code inside of Beestorm Simulator and how to use them properly. So if you play Beestorm Simulator, you probably know what codes are, and there's a high probability that you have been using codes incorrectly. So if you want to learn how to use codes properly and get the most out of them, watch till the end. And if you guys do end up enjoying this video or it does help you out, drop a like and subscribe. It does help support me a lot. But yeah, let's just get right into the video. So there are a few codes inside of Beestorm that give you tickets and honey, so it doesn't really matter when you use them. I would recommend you use them as soon as you start playing. So yeah, those codes are Wax, Roof, Nectar, Callers, Connoisseur, Cog, Buzz, Bulkmaster, 38217, and Wink. So those codes, like I said, doesn't matter when you use them, there's no correct way. Use them when you start playing. The next type of code I'd like to discuss is a type of code that gives you loot. So there are a couple codes. The first one I can think of is Club Bean. It gives you a Magic Bean. Gumdrops for Science gives you 15 Gumdrops. Club Converters. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, make sure you join the Beestorm Club or like the Beestorm group, because there are a lot of codes that you'll be able to use if you join the group. It's very important. So yeah, all those codes that give you either gumdrops or like converters, all that stuff, it doesn't matter when you use them. Once again, if it's not like giving you a field boost, then I'll just use it as soon as you start playing. It's gonna help you. Bees Buzz 123, it's another good one. It gives you Cloud Vial ×1, Bitter Berries, and Gumdrops. There's another one called Plush Friday. It gives you a Marshmallow Bean and some other good stuff. So yeah, those are the simple codes, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out how to use them properly. But moving on to some more complicated codes. So there's a good chance if you play Beestorm, you've heard of the Ready Player 2 event. It is pretty much this area right here. You talk to Digital Bee, you get some good rewards, you get a Star Jelly. So in order to actually complete it, there are 7 codes you have to use. So those codes I'll list above. They are the Sentry, Jumpstart, Carmen, San Diego, Luther, Millie, Word Factory, and Troggles. Oh, that's a lot to say, wow. So the reason you have to use them to get the Ready Player 2 event done is because you get a 7-pronged cog for every code that you use, and you do need those cogs to craft the strange goggles. The special thing about these codes is that you get a field boost ×1 and a bunch of fields, and then you get 100% field capacity in those fields as well. So for example, the Troggles one gives you Clover capacity, Word Factory gives Pine, Millie gives Sunflower, Luther gives Blue Flower, Carmen San Diego gives Rose, which is very good, Jumpstart gives you Dandelion, and the Sentry gives you Mushroom. So the right way to use those codes, the way I would recommend you do it, is you use one code at a time, and then while you have that buff, you grind in that one field. A lot of people, including myself, they wasted those codes and they used it all at once, which kind of, contradicts the point of the field boost. You can't boost in 7 fields at once, so that is why you preferably want to use one code at a time. Now that we're done covering the Ready Player 2 event, there are a bunch of other insignificant codes. For example, Secret Profile Code. It gives you an Ant Pass, Shock Bee Jelly, Oil Buff, Glue Buff, and Enzyme Buff. Yeah, so Oil Buff, Glue Buff, it's all cool. It's very cool and all, but it's not very important, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. So once again, it doesn't matter when you use them. You can use it whenever. It's not going to benefit you too much. And then moving on to some more serious codes. The first good code I can see is Teespring. So it gives you Bamboo Field Boost and Bamboo Winds ×3. I will try my best to save this code until you've progressed at least to like the Blue HQ, because obviously you can buy the blue tool. I forgot what it's called, the Bubble Wand. And it's going to help you get so much more honey. Like, I'm doing a series right now where I'm playing on a new account. I made like 50 million honey from that on a new account from that one code alone. So yeah, I would recommend you save it. Or if you're endgame, you can use it, or you probably use it by now, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so 1 million likes, it's another very okay, but weird code. So it's hard to explain. It gives you pretty much one of every single item inside of Beestorm, except like the very rare ones. Also gives you Super Smoothie Buff, Gumdrop Buff, Mother Bear Morph, and all that good stuff. And it gives you a field boost in a bunch of low tier fields. Probably the most important thing it gives you is the Capacity Code Buff, which it's good for boosting, but it's also good for grinding. So I would probably try and match up one of those codes with another code, if that makes sense. Like for example, the Ready Player 2 event. If you're gonna be doing some boosts, I would save up some micro converters, and then I would use a code. And then, since it gives you a capacity code and it boosts your field, so yeah, I would try and match up the 1 million likes code with another code, and that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So if 2 codes overlap one field and it's not a complete waste, then it's a good thing to do. Yeah, 1 million likes. I give this code a solid 6 out of 10. It's kind of good, but it's also kind of trash. 10 million members. This is a pretty okay one once again. So it gives you pineapple code buff. That's probably the most important thing from that. Yeah, so pepper and stump is also, it's okay, you know, but nothing special. And conversion boost, pretty cool stuff. You get it for an hour, so if you don't have a bunch of micros, might want to use it for that. For your Fiesta, so this one, if you're an early game player and you're doing a boost, I would pop this in the middle of a boost because you get times 10 precision, which I doubt you'll be having anytime soon. If you're early or mid game, you probably don't have 20 precise speeds like me. Yeah, right now I only got 14 precise speeds, and I'm saying only, I know. Pop that in the middle of a boost. Also, you get sunflower winds and cactus winds, which is kind of good if you want to match that up. I would probably boost in cactus over sunflower, but if you do have a fuzzy alt, sunflower can also be very good. So the next code is Walmart Toys. It is one of my personal favorites because it gives you so much good stuff. It gives you Pineapple Patch boost times 4, Pineapple Patch code, and Pineapple Patch wins. Every time I make a new account, I always try and grind in Pineapple just because, you know, that code gives you so much good stuff. It's kind of insane how much good stuff you get from that. So I would try and save this, but if you're getting impatient and getting bored of the game and you want to speed up the gaming process, then just use the code, make a quick 250 million honey, and you're chilling. Thanksia's Toy Box, another one of my personal favorites because you get Pineapple boost times 3, and if you want to use a glitter afterwards to get times 4, you can do that. And you also get Pumpkin Patch code buff, which once again, code buffs, they're very good. They give you 100% pollen and they give you capacity. Tharzeth Doodles, the next one. So you get coconut and clover field buff. So extra capacity, extra pollen. If you're grinding in coconut, then I would try and save it. Because clover, it's not too good of a field to get a code buff in. So I would save this until you have like 35 bees and you killed the coconut crab. But I'm not your dad. I can't direct what you do. And yeah, some other very cool codes. Band, for example, you get Stubborn Bee Jelly, the most important thing, and then Spider Field Code Buff. I would use this when you're early on because it's just Spider. It's not gonna do anything later on in game except, you know, make you a couple trillion honey. But I would use it early on and speed up the gaming process. Cubbly, it's also kind of good because capacity code buff for an hour, you get times 2 capacity if I'm not mistaken. You also get 1 single micro. And Bumblebee Jelly, let's go. Most important thing. 500 mil. Also, very good code. I would give it like a 8 out of 10 because you get bamboo fuel times 3, some fuel times 2, and conversion boost for an hour, and wolf clock times 5. So if you know you're going to be AFKing for a long time, you can pop the code, you can make a couple 100 million honey from the code, and then you can just AFK the wolf clock and get a bunch of tickets. So yeah, the wolf clock buff times 5, it's not something you get very often. But yeah, it's kind of good. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, drop a like and sub if you did. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.